Team, good morning, good morning. We are here almost a little bit late, but we are here. We are live. Yeah, we are live. Mo, good morning, good morning. At first I didn't want to stream, and then I thought the people need me, so Amos, thanks so much, man. I actually have to thank all of you guys and Mo and Keegan and Javon and everyone in the office for cross-sharing everything on all of the platforms. So I really appreciate all of the support from everyone. So congratulations to you guys for supporting the channel. And yeah, like I told Mo, I said never despise the day of small beginnings, or the days of small beginnings. It was all an idea. I didn't really want to do live streams, and I thought this is something that the trading community needs, and we started with it. And yeah, let's take it from strength to strength. And I want to say thank you to all of you guys for joining in on a public holiday, and happy Heritage Day that has come and gone yesterday. I hope you guys had a fantastic one. I want to give it a few more minutes. I just want to settle in here at the office. Nobody's here. I don't know where everyone is. I actually told them to be at the office today, but I don't see anybody here. Mo, I'm just kidding. How's the audio, guys? If you can just let me know how the audio is, if the audio is good, I'll appreciate that. And give yourself a pat on the back if you are here this morning. It shows me who are the true grinders and the guys that really want it the most. I just want to get a few things up here, and then we're going to get going. Leslie, good morning. Yolandi, good morning. Josh, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. All right, guys, so new week, new opportunities. How was your trading week last week? If it was not great, I hope you went over the weekend to go and see what you could have done differently. If you followed all your rules, that is fine, but forget last week. Last week has no bearing on your trading this week, so don't let it affect you. This week is a completely new week, new probabilities, so this week is different to last week. Always remember that. Don't take that baggage from the previous week's trading into the new week. You have to come in with a fresh mindset, a renewed mindset to come and take on the new week. So Monday, not too much going on. This morning we had Governor Yuda a speech this morning at 7:30 regarding the Japanese yen, and then later on we've got Christine Lagarde on at 3, but we'll be offline by that time. So pretty straightforward week after a heavy data week last week. Last week was quite intense in terms of the back-to-back central bank rate decisions we've had. This week, German CPI, we've got some GDP coming out of the US on Thursday, more to the tail end, and then we've got some Fed speakers on as well on Thursday. Friday, quite a bit of data coming out of Japan, and also GDP on Friday. So I have to say a lot less intense in terms of economic data than last week, but still relatively good in terms of what we can trade. So I'm going to jump straight into the analysis for the new week, and we can see where we are going into the new week. I'm just going to clear these weekly pivots for now. We'll reassess that. All right, guys, so I just want to take this call from Mo quickly. Give me 1 sec. Chad, you can see my screen, eh? Mo phoned me and said he couldn't see the stream. I can see the stream, yeah. So I don't. Anyways, let's get straight back into it. So DXY, we've talked about it being quite heavily bullish. We're still in a bullish market. A lot of consecutive bullish weeks. This is 3, 6, 9, 10 consecutive bullish weeks. And looking at this week again, I'll have to go with a bullish bias. Only thing that I'm not necessarily concerned about, but this entire zone right here, let me just show you guys, is a zone where we can potentially start forming rejections. So we are trading into it. We're still maintaining our bullish bias for the week because we closed bullish last week. We've got a tiny little bit of a wick fill to the upside, and just keep that in mind. We can potentially reject, or the other thing that could happen is we can actually have a massive strong bullish closure above the zone, and then what will happen is the next week we'll have like some type of pullback, wicking into the zone to then continue higher. But for this week, I maintain the bullish bias on a daily time frame. Let me just see where we are on the day. So as you can see on the daily, clearly still continuing to break structure to the upside. I think this was on Thursday where I showed you guys the break of structure, potential reversal zone I was expecting, but again breaking above. Looking left on the daily as well, you can see this area right there. Let me just refine it a little bit. That area right there, crucial zone for us to get through. So I think we are gone this week once we get a daily closure above 105.70. But Friday's daily candle left a top wick for us to trade into, and on the 5-minute time frame, let's quickly see where we are. Asia highs, Asia lows, currently trading up against the Asia highs, and Asia lows down here still intact, not taking that. Also trading above the daily pivot. So I'm going to say our area of contention for this morning is going to be the Asia highs and the daily pivot. Anything deeper than that, we could start going south. So I don't want to see any deeper pullbacks than the daily pivot at 105.56, and then even potential breaks above the Asia high to then come and retest it and hold. So that is the idea that I'm looking for on DXY. US30, let me just change the daily bias to bullish as well. Right, that's DXY. US30 jumping out to the weekly time frame. Let's quickly see where we are on the week. All right, so last week I mentioned to you guys at the start of the week, if we fail to hold this level, this is bad news for bulls. And why did I say that? because I think we were stuck in this range right here. Just want to measure here. I think it was almost a month. For an entire month we were trying to penetrate this level with multiple failures. So we got above it, the retest failed to hold right here, and now we closed back inside of the range. So again, all of this potentially becomes one big fake out, faking out the bulls to the upside and then bringing it back inside of the range. So quite easy in terms of where we can trade to on a weekly time frame. These would be my first weekly targets down here. Next up, we can come all the way down here. So I'm definitely bearish on the week, same as last week. I was bearish on a daily time frame. Let's look at where we are. Daily closing bearish as well. So if you take that area of support right there, Friday testing it, closing bearish, we can see some type of pullback a little bit deeper into this zone right here. Let me just show you. That is not impossible to see something pull back on the daily into that zone to then only continue lower, or we can just continue lower from where we are now. So daily time frame, we've got our daily targets down here. I can actually just mark this out for us as weekly target zones. So we definitely want to stick to that bearish trend that we've got, and I would say these are our weekly target zones. 5 minute time frame, let's quickly look at our ranges that we've got to work with. Right, so this is our Asia low right there, Asia high, sitting all the way up here. Right, now you can clearly see accumulation distribution still bearish. We are trading right at the daily pivot level. I would actually love for price to do something like this before I look for shorts a little bit later. If we can take those Asia highs, then a nice little break of structure below the pivot, I will definitely execute on shorts here. Friday, was it Friday that I missed those shorts? It was Friday. Remember, we were calling the shorts from here. I didn't execute on them, but anyway, that is last week. Like I said, last week has got no bearing on us this week. So I would love for the Asia highs to be taken, then a break below the daily pivot. And the reason why I would like a break above the Asia high, we've got these equal highs here, and I would love for price to first fake out the retail market and to then come short. Also, the moving average is still trading below the 200, so I'm going to wait for the open. Definitely a potential trade here today on US 30, looking quite clean. Nasdaq jumping down to a weekly time frame. Last week was the easier one to navigate in terms of being bearish. This week makes it a little bit more tricky, and why I say that, we've got this zone right here, so we tapped into it. How deep do we pull back? I don't know, but we are still bearish. But just keep in mind, we've got a potential support area here, past resistance, turn support, and now we're coming to retest it again. So I don't care how bearish we are, we need to keep that in mind, that we are trading into a potential demand zone, and we always need to be mindful of that. So daily time frame, closing bullish on Friday, also closing bullish right up against this area right here, this potential support zone. As I've mentioned, can we get some type of wick fill to the upside? So I'm technically gonna go with a bullish bias, even though it's just short term, for the day to potentially come and fill this daily wick And jumping down to a 5-minute time frame, let me just see where we are in terms of our ranges. So still heavily bearish. I would need to see a lot more bullish price action before I can consider that wick fall to the upside, but nonetheless something we can monitor. Asia high right there, so not too clean for me. Nasdaq, USD JPY, 13 minutes left for the open. Let's quickly run through this. Weekly time frame, still bullish. We were bullish last week on this market as well. I told you it's going to be a volatile market. Why did I say that? Why was I expecting quite a big move? See that small weekly body? Again, if you are in the Discord, check the link in the bio. I talk about small ranges equals big ranges. So when you've got a small weekly range, that's going to equal into a big weekly range. Like you can see here, a big weekly range. Straight after that, what did you have? You got a small weekly range in terms of opening price and closing price. Exactly the same here, at a nice breakout. Always when you see candles like this, expect an expansion move that is coming in. It's not me thumb sucking that is Larry Williams, one of the best traders in the world. If you read one of his books, he talks about small ranges equaling big ranges. Nonetheless, we are trading very close to a major weekly level, 148.80. I'm still bullish on this market up until we hit this zone. We can even fill this wick, so keep that in mind. There's a lot of liquidity sitting in that wick, so we can trade very deep into this range. This is a 350 pip range that we can trade into, and that is something to consider. Daily time frame, closing bullish engulfing, and not the prettiest on the daily, I have to admit, but we did close above this previous area that was tested. So I'm going bullish on the day, bullish on the week, and 5-minute time frame. Let's quickly look at, I'll get to the questions as soon as I'm done with the analysis. Right, still looking bullish. We've got Asia highs up there. I can delete that. Asia lows down here, quite a bit above the daily pivot. Half round number here. I would definitely set some alerts at the daily pivot. 148.10. That is the area that I'll be monitoring. Chris, which time frame do you use to divine weekly? I use my weekly time frame. Right, GBP, JPY, let's quickly go down to a weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, I am bearish. I was bearish last week. Again, I am bearish this week. Let me just clear up all of these lines here. Why was I bearish last week? Quite easy. First thing, we failed to hold that previous area of resistance turned potential support. Then also this little support here failed. So let me zoom in for you. So go back to last week Monday's analysis on the stream. I mentioned I'm bearish due to these two facts. We broke support to the downside. We failed to hold above this previous area of resistance, and I said this could be our target down here. We got very close. So again this week, got a nice little wick to fill to the downside, and we still have yet to fully test this area. So I'm going bearish on the week. Daily time frame, what do we have on the daily? Small little bullish candle, potential wick fill to the upside, maybe even up into this little area here. all of the ICT traders, fair value gap, whatever you want to call it, but that is just a valid pullback and then a break of structure to the downside. So I am going still bearish on the day. I'll try and sell the pullbacks. And then on the 5-minute time frame, where are we currently? So Asia lows right here, already took Asia lows, Asia highs still intact. And then weirdly enough, from Friday morning, we've been trading bullish on the 80. So quite interesting in terms of what I'm seeing here. Currently trading below the daily pivot. I would only consider longs if we break above quite strongly, hold Asia highs, and then I'll maybe look for longs. But we've got the round number sitting right there. Something to consider, but I'll wait for price to develop a little bit more. Gold weekly time frame. Last week we were bullish. Yeah, we were bullish. And reason for that was, again, feel free to go back to last week Monday's stream. I was bullish due to the fact that we failed to close below this level. So as you can see previously, support level, I considered this to be some type of fake out. We closed back above, closed bullish, and I did mention, if you go back on the stream, 1942, this area right here, the daily flat body resistance area, that was my target. We met it, closing weak bullish. Now here's one of two things that can happen here. This is now a confirmed support. This area right here is a confirmed support. Why? 2 bullish weekly closures. So I consider this a valid support area. I consider this a valid resistance area because we've had 2 swipes into that zone we rejected. So this is our weekly range that we are trading in with gold. And 2 things can happen. We can push up from here, closing strong bullish above this area, and then technically we've broken the downside structure. So we're not bearish anymore, then we are now potentially starting to turn bullish. The other case scenario is we do something like this. The support gets broken, we fail to hold that support, and we close bearish on the week. So we don't know that yet. But what we do know is that, again, that I have to go bullish on the week because we have yet to close bearish. So I will say potential targets this week, Phil. Again, remember what I said about small ranges. When I see something like this, I know that this weekly candle is going to have a big body. Not a big body like your ex-girlfriend. I'm talking about a big body in terms of candles. I know some of you are now offended because I was talking about your ex-girlfriend's big body, but anyway, guys, daily time frame. Daily time frame is a little bit of a mess, I'm not gonna lie. We've got this area looking left, rejection area, now potentially support. We had that massive rejection to the upside right here. So if I refine my daily, so I'm gonna have to go with bullish on the day to see if we can potentially hold that support. Edgar, to see if we can hold the support area right here. So I'm going bullish on the day, and on the 5-minute time frame, Oak should stop hitting big body goals. Asia high right there and Asia low right here. So we've already taken Asia lows, starting to pressure bullish on the 80. So I'm going to lean towards more of the buy side on gold. And 1925, guys. I think this is a valid area for us to monitor, this area right here. So keep in mind, if we can clear the zone quite strongly and then come back, potential trades there on gold. 3 minutes. Let's quickly shotgun the last bit of analysis. Weekly time frame. GU, I am bearish on the week, and the reason for that is, let me just clear this quickly. You can clearly see on a weekly time frame we failed to close above any of these previous support resistance areas. So potential retest into 12300, and then we've got a lot of clear air to fall to the downside. Just looking left with me. So bearish on the week. Let's quickly look at the daily time frame. I weirdly enough took some buys on Friday. Corner nice 3R. Bearish on the day. Looking left. First area of support is here. I'll show you guys now. Look left with me. That's the first area of support. So 1220, 1215. Still bearish. Yeah, this is a fire sale, guys, to be honest. Buyers are getting absolutely wrecked in this market. Asia lows, Asia highs, accumulation distribution starting to turn now. So I'm going to consider Asia highs. If we fail at Asia highs, I'm going to consider some shorts there. 2 minutes to the open. I'm going to wait for the 15-minute shuffle and we'll take it from there. USD ZAR, absolute shit show. Still trading very close to that 19 level. I don't actually even want to look at this market. This is one ugly market, but okay. Weekly bias, bearish. We had 2 weekly bearish closures. So I'm going to go with bearish on the week. I actually thought last week we're going to create that top wick, which we didn't. Bearish on the week. First target's 1860 daily time frame. Also bearish. Why? Broke structure there. You can clearly see area of support, area of resistance. We've now closed below. Currently retesting it. A nice little range to trade to the downside, so I'm gonna go with bearish on the day. And let's quickly see. I'm gonna get to the questions right now. And 46 seconds to the open. Accumulation distribution actually heavily bearish on USD ZAR if I look back. So daily pivot. All right, let's monitor that, guys. I will monitor this for us, see how the spreads are. It is a public holiday in SA, so I'll check my broker feed for the spreads. Daily pivot, Asia highs, potential short opportunity there. Euro USD, ARIME. Let me quickly run through this. We still have some time. Bearish, not ARIME, almost bearish on the week. We've got this wick to fill to the downside. Just keep in mind that this area is a little bit tricky. Looking left with me, past area of support, then try to hold a support, then support there again. So just be very mindful of this area. I'm not saying we are bullish, but just be mindful of that. So wick fall to the downside. I'll go bearish on the day up until we fill that wick. So bearish on the day, and then on the 5-minute time frame, let's see what we've got. Accumulation distribution also doing this some type of topping pattern here, and I would still be leaning short. Let's just mark out our Asia lows. Asia lows and daily pivot right up against one another, so I wouldn't consider any buys unless we trade strongly above the Asia highs. Actually, what an ugly market, my goodness. Asia lows, breaks below, retest holding, and you can look for shorts from these Asia low levels. I wouldn't consider buys now. First need to get quite a bit above the Asia highs. That is the analysis, guys. Markets are open and in motion for about 1 minute and 35 seconds, and let's see where we are in terms of the market. Ruben Diedrichs, Chris, which time frames do you use for weekly pivots, and do you move them as pivots change? So for the weekly pivots, I use the 4 hour. So that is your swing trading position. So you see that pivot there, I will mark them out manually, and you only need to do this once a week. Your pivot, your 4 hour pivot never changes during the week. So every week your 4 hour pivot remains the same for that entire week. So weekly pivot right there. Then I would mark out my weekly resistance on the 4 hour. I've already saved these templates, weekly R1, and then I will mark out my S1, and there your job is done. You don't touch these levels again. You save your chart, and those are your weekly pivots. And then the only other pivots you use is your 5-minute pivots, which is obviously already there on your screen. I hope that makes sense. NAS, we did run through NAS. AB, morning, love and support from Cape Town. I love me some EU too. What a ugly chart. That EU chart is uglier than some of our ex-girlfriends. I'm kidding, guys. You guys aren't ready for me this morning. Is there another name for DXY? Dixie, Dollar Index, DXY. Nila, good morning, good morning. Gaan het my maat? Guys, the giveaway will be announced most probably, hopefully tomorrow. I've asked Mo to do a graphic. So we weren't expecting to hit 1,000k. I actually told Mo maybe next week Monday we'll hit 1,000k subscribers, and Mo was like, no, he was thinking midway this week, and I was like, he was optimistic, I was the pessimist. So we did hit it. So we obviously want to get that giveaway going, and again, as mentioned, a funding challenge account, and also flying out one of you guys to the office to spend the day with us. So we will make that announcement hopefully tomorrow. We'll see how far we are with the graphic, otherwise on Wednesday, and we'll maybe just run it for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and we will then fly you guys out to whoever wins it. Yolanda, it will most probably just be a little bit of a marketing criteria. So following my page, being subscribed to the channel, and having a Vault Markets account. So will be very simple. I've been putting the link to the stream in every community I'm in. Really appreciate it, Edgar. Luckily we don't have to fly you out. I can just e-wallet you some fuel money, and you can pop into the office. Yeah, I really appreciate all the support. A lot of you guys sharing the link and the stream in various communities. It is really awesome to see. Right guys, we're gonna wait for the 15-minute shuffle. Once that is done, we will take stock of where we are, and I just want to see where we are with USD ZAR. Spreads aren't looking too bad. Guys, if you have not yet, join the Discord link in the description. This week I will be recording quite a bit of educational content for you guys, so feel free to join that. And also gonna do some funded account giveaways in there as well, so be sure to check it out. Also, from starting this channel 2 weeks ago, I think we're sitting on 98 members. So that is also pretty awesome to see. Alright guys, see how we've taken Asia highs now, and I'm gonna consider shorts below here. So I'm just letting you guys know I am considering shorts below the daily pivot. US 30. We've now taken Asia highs. So let's see, maybe we get, I just want to see the spreads on this. Yo, gold. Yeah, let's see if we get some type of pullback on gold. I wouldn't have just entered on this candle breaking there. Just letting you guys know. Alright, let's see if Asia highs can hold. If we're gonna see some bearish pressure coming into the market, I would want to see Asia highs hold. I just quickly want to check what the Hang Seng did overnight. So Hang Seng closing minus 2% overnight. This is the Hang Seng index that's similar to Hong Kong's, or basically their Dow Jones. So Hang Seng from the open closing massively down, so that flow most probably will come through to the US markets as well. So we've got that in the back of our minds. What's German 30 doing? German 30 also trading below the 200 on the 80, and I do feel if you get some type of structure break right here, you could go lower. Asia range sitting right here, so we've not taken Asia lows, and we've got Asia highs up here. So nice tight little range to work with. All right. Three more minutes, 15-minute shuffle will then be done, and then we can start executing. While we wait for the 3 minutes, I'm actually going to quickly mark out our weekly pivots on US30 quickly. Then I know that is done for the week. That is most probably the hardest part of your trading week, marking out all of these levels. Guys, I was almost in a massive car accident yesterday. I'm actually so grateful to just be here. And I will tell you guys now what happened. I came into the office for a little bit. And on my way home, for some of you guys that live in P, I don't know if you know that the highway split there past the driving range. There where it goes to Sunridge, and I was driving most probably about like 100, 110, and as I took the split, it was like a stream of water running across the road, and as I started slowing down, when I hit that stream, my car literally flipped 90 degrees. So the road makes a split like this, so you can go on straight, and then there's another one that goes on the highway like that. So I came from here, and there was a stream of water running like this across the road. It was raining here, like a big stream of water, and as I turned in and I hit that water, my car literally, the backside came out. Car was almost 90 degrees. I tried to correct it. As I corrected, I overcorrected, flipped 90 degrees the other way, and then I just left the steering wheel. And as I hit, say not the dry tar, but where there's not a stream, the car literally just pulled to the left and straightened itself out. Didn't have a safety belt on. I was literally shaking after that. I told my wife, listen here, I think that is definitely the angels protecting me. But yeah, that was quite scary. So wear your seatbelts. I don't think anything would have happened in terms of if I had a safety belt on. I think the car would have been written off, but I would have been fine. But not having a safety belt, I could have really gotten hurt. But anyways, that was quite scary. Alright, 15-minute shuffle, trading above the Asia highs, GBP, JPY, also AD supporting some bullish price action right here. Let's see if we can hold the Asia highs. Only concern 182, only about 20 pips away, and but we'll see. I'm gonna set some alerts at the daily pivot 181.70, and if we can get something from there. My brother was in a big car accident, also did not know how he survived and protected. Yes. Dude, dit gebeur so vinnig. Jy kom dit nie eens agter nie. Jy sit nog in, you're still driving. That's the thing with life. You still go about your day as if everything is normal, and just like that, your life can be taken away. So that is why we should live every day grateful to wake up, grateful that you've got another opportunity. And life is very short, guys. I don't want to make this deep, but life is really short. And we get so stuck on minute things that actually have no real bearing on what the true meaning of life is. So live with gratitude, live to make an impact. It's Neil. Neil, I'm gonna check now. I'm very glad that your brother is fine. We've set our alerts. We'll wait. Guys, so when we started these streams, I started funding account challenge. I've never been funded, and I told the guys in the office it is a completely different story to trade your own funds and to trade the funds or trade a funding account challenge. And I wanted to challenge myself, and last week Friday passed phase 1. Could have done it like after 2 weeks. The only thing was like I have to be honest, I fucked around a little bit, like the one day taking almost a 5% knock on one trade idea, which I shouldn't have done. I actually preached that 2 bullets max on a trade idea and you move on. But anyway, so past that, after a month, took me a month to do it, starting with the phase 2 today, and all trading, most of the trades were taken on stream. I think there were 1 or 2 taken off stream. The trade taken on Friday was the same trade idea I shared on Thursday, where we were trading the setup right here. So this was Thursday. Remember, I shared the S2, the weekly S2 was here. I got stopped out here. I got in late, but if you were in early, this was actually the right setup there. The S2 was somewhere down here. Your 15-point stop targeting the Asia lows right there, looking left with me. There was a 2.5% trade, and then Friday's trade I took from here. So Friday the S1 was sitting here. I took the trade as we broke above. No, I took it here. So the S1 was sitting here somewhere. On Friday I stacked 3 trades in here, 1.5% risk, and I got out literally here somewhere. The reason I got out there was like some type of order block thing sitting there left, and I thought, let me get it out there, and that's what passed the challenge. What would you guys say is the hardest part of the funding challenges? I know Ruan shared a story, I think it was 1% away, if I'm not mistaken, and it was one of those moments where it was yet so close but yet so far. Ruan, did you blow up after being 1% away, or? That is tough if you 1% away and you start. So I was also 1% away, and then I took a string of losses, like small little losses, managing risk, where I was back down to only being up 3.5%. But yeah. Alright guys, massive push above the Asia highs. DXY must probably, okay, DXY still at the daily pivot. Nasdaq also above. I'm still bearish on it. I'll even consider sells here at the daily R1. Let's see. I'm not gonna buy this market as of yet. UJ Asia highs, also the weekly high, so very, very interesting. GJ Asia highs above the daily pivot. Let's see what we get there. I pulled my... Yeah, let me know what's the hardest part of the funding challenges. Previously, I know what messed me up many years ago when I did a few FTMO challenges, and Jean-Pierre Malga sits in the chat as well. He got a few payouts. He was quite clinical with his trading on those funded accounts. Was the trading days, the maximum trading days, that was the most difficult part. Because Murphy's Law, once you buy a funding challenge, the market goes into a range. There's no setups. You take one trade, your clock starts ticking, and all of a sudden you are pressured. I'll never forget it. Jean-Pierre Malgas, JP had like a few percent to do that one Friday. And we were on NAS and US 30, and the man pulled it through in the dying minutes of the day. But I would say that was the hardest part of the funding challenges many years ago. Now there's no time limit, so there's no rush. And if you consider the funding challenge as an asset, because once you get it, that asset, if you protect it, is there as long as the company is still liquid. So take your time, there's no rush. You're potentially gaining an asset, so do not rush it. Because once that account is live and it's funded and you are funded, that is your baby. Then you can look after it, you can trade it, you can withdraw from it. So be sensible. Alright, DXY retested twice off the daily pivot. I would want to see us get above the Asia highs for buy side momentum on GBP USD. Sell side momentum, rejecting the Asia highs currently, and very interesting. I would need some type of structure to trade from. Also very close to the half round number 1255, and I would love if we can get some type of support being formed and then a break of that support. So if we can get something like that, then I will be executing shorts. And where will we target? It's Monday, so I'll think I'll go for like a 1-to-1, even maybe a maximum of, yeah, I'll go 1-to-1. I'm not gonna push it, maybe 20 pips max, but let's see. I want to see some type of support being formed. Nice little pullback back into Asia highs, and then I will be looking short. Last taking some nice GU longs. 7, when was that? 2, 2, 5, 6. Is it? Let me see. What time frame is this man playing on? Can't really see. 2236 Asia lows. Nice one, Laz. Okay, pound yen retesting daily pivot. So here's my idea for pound yen after we've tested the daily pivot. If we can get a break of structure to the upside, something like that, I would consider longs. So nice strong break above Asia highs, holding it almost like a bullish engulfing, and a break of structure. I would be looking long on this market. Gold back at the daily pivot. I would need to see some type of double bottom or engulfing here. Neil's the one that has been trading gold. Neil, hoe gaan het met gold? Any pivots? Ek het baie lanklaas goud actually getrade. Laat weet my, wat is die trick? Keegs in the chat. 1K subs on the channel. Yeah, and thanks so much for Keegs for joining me every morning. And we've got a lot planned for you guys. Believe me when I say that. We have got a lot planned. Taking a lot of break-even trades on gold lately. Yes, dude, I am so out of touch with gold. I had a strategy a while back where between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, the high or the low of the session would be formed, and you would get some type of pullback. That's the only way I traded gold. I've never really traded the pivots on gold that much, to be honest. But the gold market, like especially Friday, I think Neil took the Asia high buy somewhere here. And just look at that mess. Absolute jumble. So gold has not been moving that cleanly. Weirdly enough, pound yen and GU have been the pairs where I've gained the most, and US30. Those are my best pairs that I've been trading. Can we get some type of support here, guys? Remember what I said, I need some structure to trade off. And I'm not going to trade off this structure break right here. I would first wait for some type of support being formed here maybe, and then a break. Then I'll definitely be looking short. If not, I'll leave Monday alone and let it do its thing. But also US30 starting to pressure bullish a little bit, but let's see. R1 may be the perfect place for us to start looking for shorts. Pound yen retesting the daily pivot. I'm not going to execute on this close. Just for the disclaimer, I'll be looking for a structure break. And on that, just a disclaimer, these streams are purely for educational and entertainment purposes only. These streams are not financial advice. Please get financial advice from your financial advisor before making any financial decisions. You will lose money trading what we do on this stream. With that being said, GJ looking good for potential longs. GJ looking good for potential longs. Five-minute time frame, closing right up against this area of resistance. No trade for me. I would have loved if this candle broke that resistance to the upside. And also keep in mind we've got the weekly pivot sitting right there. So that's going to be an area of contention if we start looking long on this market. Right, nice little support created here. If we get a structure break right here, I'm going to execute shorts on GU. DXY would need to get above these Asia highs. Quite a bit of resistance in this zone. I don't know if you guys can see that, but very tricky one with DXY, especially so early in the week. Can we already get some bullish pressure going into the market? So we do have that wick fill potential, but very tricky. Remember, I always say I like for the Monday, Tuesday to create the bottom wick if I'm bullish, to then start flipping bullish. But to trade this bullish right off the bat makes it a little bit tricky, but let's see. Alright, perfect. If we can create some type of resistance right here, even retest the daily pivot one more time, break of structure right there, can we get some buys on GJ on this Monday? GU potential sells. Asia high trading below the daily pivot. Already took Asia lows took Asia highs right now. Let's see, 2 minutes left for this candle. One minute. Let's see if we can break below there and execute some shorts on GU. We do need to hold these Asia highs, very tricky one. But let's see, 25 seconds. Accumulation distribution starting to flip to the downside. And hopefully we've got some type of bottom wick. And 3, 2, 1, almost no bottom wick. I'm gonna wait for a bit of a pullback. There's almost no bottom wick on my broker terminal. I'm gonna wait for a retest of that area, a little bit of a pullback into that zone. Right guys, I'm executing shorts right here on GU. Stops 15 pips. Just letting you know, this is quite a tricky zone with where we are. So target, like I said, 20 pips, I'll be happy. Even a 1-to-1, 15 pips. I'm not gonna be greedy. 1-to-1, in and out, Monday, 1%. Let's see if we can get it. Reason why I'm saying it is tricky, because DXY, the structure is not very clean. This is not the cleanest structure to trade into, and I would need us to trade above the Asia highs. I would need us to clear this. I don't want us messing around these Asia highs. I want to see us get away from the Asia highs. If we fail here, then very likely you'll see some type of deeper pullback on GU. But let's see. Also, I think once we hit Asia lows, I'm actually going to go stops to break even, unless we just flush through the Asia lows. It is Monday. Mondays are tricky to trade, so keep that in mind. Nasdaq coming back to the Asia highs. Let's see where we are. No trade on GJ. I'll have to wait for us to try and get back above the daily pivot. Euro USD, as mentioned, now flashing below Asia lows. Let's see if pound USD can catch up on that move. Alright guys, Monday, already in a trade. I don't like trading Mondays, but we are here. Might as well get our powder wet. If you doubt this analysis, go long. I am in shorts. And I will be monitoring the Asia lows. Asia lows, break-even point, guys. I'm not gonna mess around with it. Looking at Euro USD, I want Pound USD to do something similar, where we flush through these Asia lows, and once we reach that level, I will go break even, and this will be my break-even point. So just letting you guys know, break even at the Asia lows, and then from there we can see how we trade through it. If we get, let's say we break through Asia lows and we get a very strong spike, I'm just gonna close. So just letting you know. Right, no top wick on that 5 minute. Technically, once it flips bullish, we should start running. So break even point right here on the Asia lows. We got Euro news at 10. Thank you for reminding me, Edgar. Euro. Private loans, right, that's more lower tier data. I'm not too concerned about that. Justin, goeiemôre, goeiemôre my vriend. Gaan dit vanmôre? Guys, give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna quickly just put on the kettle. I haven't even had a cup of coffee. I'm solo here at the office today. So give me 2 minutes and I will be back. 1-to-1 break-even point there at the Asia lows. I'm just gonna get that kettle going. Monday to Friday, 8:30 till 11. Best stream in South Africa. And I will see you guys now. Alright guys, we've got coffee. Chris, you on at 1k giveaway? Yes, Ruben, we are. I'm just waiting for our talented creative director to produce a graphic, and then we're gonna run the giveaway for about a week, and the winner will be announced on stream. Alright, can we get the break to the downside? I'm actually gonna just go break even right here. I'm just letting you guys know I am going break even on this trade. If we run, we run. If we don't run, I don't know, for some reason the markets are a little bit jumpy. It is Monday. I'm going break even. If it goes, it goes. If not, that is also completely fine. Because we are trading into a tricky little hourly zone here. So I am not going to be ignorant of this. Just look at this on the hourly, on the DXY. There is a lot of resistance here. It is Monday. And yeah, why hold risk if you can go break even? Trade is only up like 3 pips, 2 pips, but if it runs, it runs. That's a bonus. If not, break even. We have taken our shot. Euro USD already below the Asia lows, below the daily pivot. DXY also respecting the pivot. So let's see. Maybe we are lucky and we get it to run. Maybe not. Also, just looking at the market structure from these lows, we were pushing bullish. If you go onto a line chart, you can see we were taking out highs. So this could be an area where we can find support, or this could be a flip zone where we start trading lower from. And also, while I moved stops to break even, we've got 5 minutes left for this hourly candle to close. And as well, this hourly closing in a previous area of support. So as you can see there, a lot of support candles. So I'm out at break even, guys. Break even trade on GU. We can reassess it after the hour. 5 minutes left. I got stopped at break even there. I don't know if you're still in. I got tapped. The markets are weirdly quite jumpy. Spreads are opening and closing like mad. So break even for me. Break even on the sells. If you are still in it, good luck. Nasdaq closing back below the Asia highs. USD JPY now starting to break above the Asia highs. Again, quite tricky. We are trading literally at the weekly high already, and now we've got pound yen starting to make its way back up again. Maybe we grab pound yen a little bit later after this hourly closes. So let me see what the hourly is doing. Alright, we're going to close with this weak bullish body. Just a note, guys, my entry was a little bit lower because the one-click trading was not set up on this new challenge account, so my entry was there. So So once I clicked, I had to first confirm the terms and conditions, but when I called it, it was somewhere here. So, but I'm out of it. Break even for me. Still a valid trade though, but it is Monday. I don't want to take a chance on Monday. Sean, good morning. Of course there was a stream, Sean. I'm a man of the people and the people need to eat. I can't expect to preach a high work ethic and I'm still in bed at home, so gotta set the example. Again, like I mentioned, well done to the guys that are on stream, that's on the grind, taking this grind seriously, trying to better themselves every day in terms of their trading, in terms of their business, in terms of their self-development. Well done to you guys. You could have been anywhere else, but you are on the stream. And unfortunately, that is the only way to success, is through the grind, putting in the hours, putting in the effort when no one else is looking and you're not getting applauded for it. There's been a lot of times in my life where nobody was cheering me on. I had to be my own cheerleader, psyching myself up. And that is the road that some do not want to take. A lot of times we want the easy road to success, but unfortunately the road to success is disguised as hard work. Alright, coming out as expected, business climate index out of the German zone, giving GU a bit of a pop, still below the structure level right here. I would still not be looking for longs. Pound yen, weirdly enough, I'll be looking for longs once we break that structure. USD JPY, the only reason I do not necessarily want to look for longs is this is last week's weekly high and this current weekly high as well, which makes it very tricky because this is where the fake out can happen, at this weekly high and a previous weekly high. So I'm just saying I like the pound yen more because pound is currently trading at a discount. we have yet to actually get any decent pullback. If I look on the hourly, so I would love for this to pull back into this previous area of support there. So that is why I'm more keen for GJ bars than UJ bars. Hourly closing bearish though, but closing bearish above this area right here. So let's see. I'm actually just going to set some alerts for us at 181.80. Maybe we grab a trade from the session highs. If we get another test of Asia highs, guys, this 12250, this half round number, I will again look for shorts on GU. I'm just letting you guys know. So 12250, if we reject it, I'll again look for shorts. The idea is not yet put to bed, so and then NAS, I'll wait for Asia highs to reject and I'll look for a trade from here. We're so close to the daily pivot. I'm not going to try and sell the Asia highs right here. Same with US City. Who of you are still holding that GU short? Asia lows, how far are we away from the daily pivot? I'm going in on GU. I like how it's rejecting Asia highs. Yeah, I like the idea. We entered here somewhere. Only thing is, it is Monday. I've gotten clapped so many times on a Monday where it's the perfect setup, but again, considering that Monday, Tuesday can go against your weekly bias, So that is why I was very quick to place stops to break even. And also GU lagging behind EU. So EU already trading below Asia lows, below the daily pivot. Already made a nice low on the day as well, 11 pips below Asia lows. And GU is lagging behind it. And also DXY, we are trading very close to the previous weekly high as well. So like I mentioned, this is an area of potential resistance. But I like the GU short idea. Everything was pointing bearish, nothing for me stating that I need to buy this market. Like I mentioned, the 80 started crowning. We're trading below the 200. We're trading below the daily pivot. We rejected Asia highs. DXY is trading above the daily pivot. Also trading above the Asia highs. So one of them is actually lying. It's either DXY. DXY is either going to come back inside of the Asia range, and pound USD is going to hold Asia lows to then start moving up, or pound USD needs to catch up with Euro USD. I will still consider buys on GJ if we can get back above the daily pivot and we can get a break of structure. But W analysis here on GU. In all honesty, this is not the cleanest setup that we took these cells here, but I was willing to manage risk if we started to create some type of resistance like this. This is where experience comes in. Let's say we created a resistance like that, and then the next 5 minutes did something like this, then I would have gotten out for maybe a -2 pips, because then that is showing me that we want to start pulling back. That's like a minor break of structure back to the upside. But this is perfectly fine, because from these highs we are creating lower lows, lower highs. If you go into the line chart, you can see that this low was taken out, this low was taken out, and then also this high was respected. That high didn't take out that high, and from here we started taking out lows. So somebody asked in the Discord community, how do I manage trades? So a lot of times there's discretion in terms of how I manage trades, but this is a perfect example where I didn't give it any room to breathe. This was purely the retest of that structure level right there, but that is also fine. That is the thing, you can't have FOMO. If it was my plan initially to move stops to break even once we hit this level, but again, in hindsight, I was looking at DXY trading at a weekly key level, And also on the hourly, like I mentioned, this is quite a tricky little zone that we are trading in. It becomes a lot easier once we clear this level, and then this level later on potentially becomes support. But while we are trading here and you've got all of these rejections from this level, obviously it becomes weak, becomes liquidity, because the retail market sees it as a valid resistance, and they will try and sell into this, so they can get killed with something like this where we just bust through there. But again, hindsight, we don't know yet, because this previous hourly candle, look at that, closed below the flat bodies. It closed bullish, but it closed below, so you have to consider all facts. But for the guys that are still in, I would say this is your area to monitor. You don't want to see it holding Asia lows. So nice break below Asia lows, and then a nice retest of that level. I'll even consider the retest a little bit later for continuation sells. I'm looking at Nasdaq for sells below the daily pivot, and then also US 30. Neil asked me, Chris, would you consider sells on gold if you break structure? Neil, I've got a mental block with gold. Like I mentioned, I'm so out of tune with gold. I think the last time I really traded gold was April in this year. Looking on the daily, let's look at the daily. So the daily is technically bullish. Because we've broken this structure right here. If you look at this, that swing, that lower high, we've broken that. So yeah, gold is very tricky, guys. Neil, Keegan is the gold guy. He's not here today. Maybe, I don't know if Keegan is still in the chat. Chris, what does it mean if a candle does not have a top or bottom wick? I've seen you not taking trades because of the previous candle does not have a top or bottom wick. Neil, so the reason for that is that if the market closes on its low or on its high, it's showing that there's a lot of participation at that level, and it's very likely you'll get a pullback. So no top wick, no bottom wick. I don't like it. You can go back and see when you've got scenarios like that. It's also something that comes from Larry Williams, talking about a candle closing on its high or on its low. That makes it very suspect for a pullback. That's the reason. Alright guys, Nasdaq below the daily pivot. Can we get some type of structure formed here? I would love for a little bit of support there, and then a break of structure. I will then be executing shorts on this. And UJ closing above the Asia highs. What's GJ doing? GJ just absolutely dying. GU also dying from that level where we entered. What is it? 10-11 pips. Again, Asia lows, that is your area of contention. We need to hold Asia lows. I would have loved to be still in this, but I'm not. GJ again rejecting Asia highs, so quite a bit of liquidity built up here. I'm still gonna be looking for longs if we get above that level. 80 still trading bullish, and that is the reason why I say that. Beautiful analysis on GU. Trade management, maybe a little bit quick. But for the guys that still held and actually re-entered there, well done. S1 sitting all the way down here. Breaking last week's low, so could get a bit of a flush here, or we can start battering this level right here. This was last week's low, so just keep that in mind. Could get a flush. Remember, weekly lows, daily highs, session highs, all of these levels induce a lot of volume. So it is Monday. If you took the sell there and you kept it, I would be very close to say locking in some profits. Monday, you starting off the week beating the market. Very few can say on a Monday that they have closed in profits. Nasdaq just dying from this daily pivot level. Maybe we get some type of retest. I'm gonna set some alerts there. 14,756. Let's see if we can butter that level. DXY making new highs on the session. US 30 back inside of the Asia range. I'll also be monitoring that level right there for potential shorts. UJ making its way up. I don't like this. It's at the weekly high. This thing can run 100 pips. I honestly don't care. We've got the half round number right there as well, 148.50. So making that a lower probability trade for me. GJ failing at the Asia highs. We are technically bearish on the day, even though we closed bullish. And I would still be looking for longs, just due to the fact that we have not yet pulled back. So I'm just letting you guys know. Also the AD, looking from Friday, early morning Friday, we started moving up, and you can see all of this divergence on the AD. So I will still be looking long. Quite a bit of divergence on the AD right here, so I'm gonna give it some chance to play out unless we really start shitting the bed to the downside. And GBP USD, what is this thing doing? Yeah, if we reject this area right here, get a retest of that area, I do think you guys are good, and you can see a nice move to the downside. Nasdaq, can we get a pullback? Pound yen, pound yen. Let's maybe monitor these Asia lows. I'm gonna monitor these Asia lows for us. Alright, Euro USD back at the session lows. Again, session lows, session highs. Either you find support there or you completely flush it to create a new low. That is the thinking when we trade these markets. Either we find support at the session lows or session highs or resistance, or we continue to make a new low. And that is how structure is formed. Akis Babalas, but I'm glad I jumped on the stream, caught a beautiful trade on GU. Easy as that. Well done, Sean. I caught a break even on it, so you better off than me. Only thing is I don't have a Babalas. You do. So the only place where I'm better off than you is me not sitting with the Babalas. But you got the pips. No pips for me. Yeah, we would have hit basically 1% here on that candle. I would have locked it at 1%, starting off the challenge account with 1%. Beautiful. Only need to make 5%. But it is Monday, guys. Still a long week ahead. Markets aren't going anywhere. Take your time. Relax, sit back. We are here every day of the week, Monday to Friday. And again, thank you for all of you joining. I really appreciate it. And again, thank you so much for you guys joining or basically supporting us on hitting 1,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. Never despise the days of small beginnings. Nice milestone hit. We will be doing a giveaway to say thank you to each and every one of you for joining in, for making it possible for us to grow this channel. Also a massive shout out to Vault Markets for giving us the opportunity, for opening up an office here in Port Elizabeth, and really doing the most for traders. Alright, UJ, absolute pump above that level, above Asia highs. I was a pussy, I didn't take it. It is a valid trade. If I offended you by saying pussy, I'm sorry. That is just what I feel. I was not taking this, but again, it is Monday. Only 10 pips up from the Asia highs, but again, like I said, GJ, I'm still keen for the buys. Just letting you guys know, this is a bullish engulfing. I'm not going to take it on a bullish engulfing. Last week I mentioned to you guys some of my worst trades on GJ, or not GJ, just in general, the engulfing candle. I don't have a nice win rate on it, so I wait for some type of structure first to form, and then a pullback, either like some type of double bottom or even a continuation trade. So I'm not going to take this bullish engulfing. I'll even take the structure break rather here, but the engulfing for me has not been a very good one. Again, guys, Discord link in the description. Nasdaq, let's wait for this daily pivot. I do feel we'll get a retest there. That is where I'll look for entries. At this stage, Nasdaq is the weaker one for me between the two. So I'll be looking to trade Nasdaq rather than US 30. Alright, if we can get something like this, resistance being formed, then a break of structure, I'll be executing longs on GJ. There you've got the flush. Very well done. One-to-one, lock it in. Might have even gotten 20 pips on this. Very close. 20 pips. Right, Nasdaq not gonna give us a pullback, it seems. Only 35 points to the downside. US 30 still relatively close to the daily pivot. UJ again, for those guys that didn't join at the start, a lot of times what I look for is I look at what happened during the Asia session. And remember, I mentioned to you guys Hang Seng closing down about 2%. Yeah, 2% on the day. And you get that contagion flow coming through into the US indices and our local market. Our local market luckily is closed this morning. Otherwise, the JSE would have been red on the day as well. A lot of stocks in our basket of stocks listed in South Africa has got a lot of Asian and especially China exposure. Looking at stocks like Tencent, a lot of those stocks have Asian counterparties. So that is why I mentioned I was bearish on the day for the indices, but also looking on the daily time frame, we closed bearish on Friday, and very simple, as I mentioned, closing below that area, actually retested that area up there, previous support area, now potentially resistance. Do feel we can still get a trade if we can do some type of pullback. Nasdaq just absolutely shitting the bed now. Pound yen most probably our last option to get into a trade. Gold, not something that I trade a lot. As mentioned, daily pivot level, if that could have held, you could have looked at some type of long, trading below the Asia lows now. Also trading at the session lows, so nothing there for me. Pound USD, very nice analysis, trade management lacking a little bit maybe too quick on the trigger to go break even. The idea was to go break even once we hit Asia lows, which would have been the right decision to make, because once it broke through the Asia lows, and again when it comes to the trade management, I mentioned to you I was looking at Euro USD already taking trading below the Asia lows. So again, I mentioned potentially Pound USD lagging behind Euro and Euro actually leading, which it is doing. So that's why the idea was to go break even here, because we didn't want to see it hold Asia lows. So if anything, if you got some tips in terms of trade management, in terms of correlations, monitoring the various currency pairs, because Euro USD and Pound USD are heavily correlated, and also the DXY is most heavily weighted in the Euro. So the Euro has got the most weight in this basket. How do I know that? There's a beautiful thing called Google, and if you go onto Google and you go DXY basket of currencies, it is actually going to show you this pie chart that shows you that the euro is 57% weighted in the DXY, the pound only 12%, and then the JPY 13.6%. So therefore DXY and Euro USD most heavily correlated between the two of them. So DXY, Euro USD, if you compare the two, let me just show you guys this quickly. Euro USD, you will see that there's a perfect inverse correlation between the two. So while the one is making newer highs, the other one is making lower lows, and they are complete opposites. So that is how you use correlations in the market. Let me just see where we are. Pound yen, I'm gonna wait. If Asia lows hold, I will still be looking for buys. GU, nothing there for me. And then indices, most probably we'll get a trade later this afternoon if we can trade back into this range right here. Depending on how deep we go now, I will still be looking for shorts off that level unless we start diverging on the AD. But let's see, we can still grab a trade today. Pound yen looks like the most probable culprit that we will execute on if we can hold Asia lows. Jean-Pierre Malgas, nice one, bro. Thanks, Jabo.
When Sihle and Leruo find love, the battle lines are drawn in a conflict.
There's something about mom.
Oh shit, guys, I just want to open up for Justin. Give me a sec. I hope he brought coffee, otherwise I'm not opening up the office. Give me 1 sec. Kleinere keer gaan ek dit cool. Alright guys, let's see if we can hold these lows. I'm even fine if GJ pulls back to the 50 level. Even if we do a little deep dive, take out the session lows and then get back above the Asia lows, I'm still fine with looking for potential longs on this. 80 obviously needs to stay above the 200, otherwise I'm calling it a day, but still relatively. Yeah, Justin was standing outside. I only saw his WhatsApp now. He didn't bring coffee, but I opened up anyway. US30 melting, yes, like I said, we are bearish. I was still looking for shorts, but again, I cannot execute just on this. For some of you that know me, I like some type of structure to be formed at my levels, even like a retest of the Asia highs, then a break of structure. But this I will never execute on. Also remember, go back to the stream, I said I'll potentially look for shorts from there, the R1. We didn't get to that level, that's also fine. The market is not going anywhere. It is Monday, literally what is it, an hour and 10 minutes into the London session. If we're gonna start crying about missed trades an hour and 10 minutes into the weekly session, or into the trading week, then we can might as well just pack up our bags now, because there's still a lot of opportunities left in the market. Quite a bit of trades we can still take this week. Pound yen is the one that I'm gonna wait for, and let's see if we can grab pound yen. Guys, trading combine this Friday again at the office. Myself, Keegan, and Javon, we're going to be trading, or not trading, talking about some strategies, maybe even take a trade live. I'm actually going to ask Jay as well whether he's open to joining as well. We're going to talk a little bit about strategy, strategy formulation, how to develop your own strategy. That again will be 1 o'clock here in the office on Friday, and it's going to be a little bit more technical in terms of trading. Previous combine we had Jay talking about the critical elements of trading, of data collection, psychology, all of that. And I felt it was very good to talk about it, because most of the guys struggle with psychology. And how do you improve your psychology? Just reaffirming a positive result by executing a certain process. So if you know you're going to get positive results from executing on one process, then you get more comfortable by doing it. Similar by you training. Obviously, the more you train, the fitter you get, and there's a positive affirmation happening not just in your mind but in your body as well. So that is where the data collection part of it comes in. I would not be comfortable sharing this or even live streaming if I was not comfortable with the process that I take every morning, every trading session. Imagine I was doubting myself and I have to live stream every day, and I need to share trades live, but I actually have no positive affirmation or confirmations in what I do, if that makes sense. So then I would need to delete streams, I would need to lie about trades that I take, almost like Raja Banks, edit my trades on the back end, post them off stream, and while I'm on stream I only take losses. All love to Raja Banks, most probably one of the best marketers out there. One of the best marketers you can find. Start your own brokerage, edit your results in the back end. It is absolutely genius. I don't think anybody ever thought about it. Potential buys, one, I like the half round numbers, AB. I like the half round numbers and round numbers, and especially these Asia lows, so I wouldn't necessarily be looking for buys somewhere here, because the reason I say that is because we're below the daily pivot. Then I would rather wait for 181.10, which is then closer to 181. So then I'll look at my next pivot level. So while we are here, there's still some levels that I can trade from, but I wouldn't buy in between the middle of nowhere. Shooting bullets, not really. I'm not really focused on what anyone else is doing, but I'm just shooting facts. Our trading view numbers aren't the same. I use Oanda, AB, so for all of my pairs I use Oanda. You could be using FXCM. For the most part I just use Oanda. Shooting bullets, oh, you use Oanda as well. I don't know why our numbers are not the same then. If you see Raja Banks, tell him to unblock me on Instagram. I would like to comment on some of these things. But Raja Banks obviously blocks people that know a little bit about this industry, because you can only talk so much shit, and when you get called out you get blocked. So I wasn't even malicious in my comments. I honestly, believe me, I believed in Raja Banks for many years. I thought he was legit, up until I asked him a few things and I couldn't get an answer in terms of who's his LP. Then obviously the entire thing with Ted, his mentor, came out. You guys can go and check CoffeeZilla. CoffeeZilla just blew open Ted Safranco, Raja Banks's mentor. So if you go to videos, shit, let me just pause this. So this one right here, it's a 3-part one, $500,000 Ponzi, and this is about Ted Safranco, Raja Banks's mentor. And if you go and watch Traders Domain, Ted Safranco's broker, does Traders Domain still exist? Tell me, why is Traders Domain, oh, untitled? Because it is chalked. What is it now? Oh shit, okay. So there's a reason for that, and I don't want to get into beef, but CoffeeZilla exposing Ted Safranco, Raja Banks' mentor. So if your mentor is a scam, most probably you are a scam as well. So I would love to have Raja Banks on one Friday, ask him a few questions. So if you personally know him, tell him I would love to have him on the stream. I got blocked by Shaquille Samai after I exposed him. AB, how did you expose him? Shaquille's actually a decent guy. I don't know why he would need to be exposed. Talk to me. What did Shaquille Samai do? I don't feel Shaquille Samai is a scammer unless I'm missing something. Let me know. What am I missing? Blew over $500,000 in PAM accounts. AB, that happens. I actually chatted to Shaquille straight after that, and many years ago, or not many years, about 2 years ago, Shaquille asked me about fund management because I'm also regulated, or I hold a license with the FSCA. So he asked me about it, and the one thing I told him is you don't want to be managing other people's money, because wherever money is involved there's emotions. I myself have had PAMs, Jean-Pierre Malgas that's in the chat as well, myself and him managed a few PAMs with the previous broker as well, and it's all fun and games till there's emotions involved. And I honestly don't think he wanted to blow the funds. The guy was literally emotional when I chatted to him, and I told him if anybody invests into a PAM or any one of these, even just trading Forex is a high risk instrument. So if you invested into a PAM, you were very well aware of the risks. I think his PAM was up over 300-400%. Then already you can know that this is a very high risk investment. But I honestly feel like he's still very young. I don't feel like he's aware of everything. And like I've told you guys in the past as well, when I talk about something, I talk about going through it myself. I'm experienced in that, and a lot of the younger guys have that ego mindset of what the fuck does Chris know? He doesn't know shit. I'm anyway gonna do it. And then afterwards it's like, Chris, I needed to listen to you. And but yeah, I don't think he's a scam. I honestly, unless there's something that I'm missing, 100% took risk on my side and it bit me in the end. Never been happier trading my own funds. That's what I always say, trade your own funds. Do not, rather take the time, that money that you wanted to put into an investment like that, rather spend some money on education. Yeah, you get education for free every day. We've got the Discord community. If you stick around long enough, I do feel that you will get very comfortable in your trading. You will actually enjoy your trading, and yeah, that is the essence of it. So, but yeah, Shaquille Samai, unless again there's anything I missed, he fucked up. I told him just be transparent with the guys on the PAM. You can't get emotionally attached, but again, also I told him, as somebody that runs a PAM, you need to have strict parameters in terms of what you do. That's why I will never run a PAM ever again, because you only get a greedy conservative. Either you're making too much returns or you're making too little returns. Nobody's ever happy. So trade your own funds, trade your own plan. But I'll actually get Shaquille, I'm trying to get him on as a guest one Friday to actually go through that, because the man was broken after that. the man was crushed to talk about that, and also considering where he comes from, guys. So he's got quite a cool story as well, and the guy doesn't come from money. He actually has a very, very cool backstory of coming from nothing and really putting in the grind. So I have to respect that. I honestly don't feel like he's got bad intentions, but we'll get him on. AB, if you are around that day, then we can shoot some hard questions at him as well. I do feel like you need to be held accountable, but also if you fucked up, you fucked up, guys. There's no other way around it. There was another trader here in SA that also blew people's funds, but he actually took it directly. Mario Nell. If you go on the FSCA's website, also a young trader that basically he took funds directly, and he got his fine, 100,000 rand. And Mario now trading as Simply FX. When was this? 2021. So guys, trade your own funds, don't fuck up, because this literally sits on your name forever unless you try and clear it up. But Mario Nell, he got clapped by the FCA, and forever this will sit on his record. I just have a RE5, so I'm registered as a financial advisor and an investment advisor. I'm in the process of doing a Cat 2, but that is for something completely different. And if you want to go onto the FSCA's website, guys, you can obviously check all of the previous cases that have been enforced. So you can always go on here and you can go and check. Let me just see where. So yeah, you can see all of the latest enforcement actions taken, and I don't know why all of these funeral guys are getting clapped. I don't know what they are doing, but it's usually quite massive fines. Let me just see what this fine was. Some of these oaks get massive fines, like in the millions. Forex tutorials. Check the administration penalty of 1 million. Forex tutorials. What did they do? Okay, fails to pay penalty. Fail to come. I wonder what these guys did. Financial. That is one thing you don't fuck around with, guys. That's other people's money unless you follow the right steps. So let's quickly see section 7.1. I haven't gone through the Phase Act in a while. Last time I went through this was when I wrote my RE exam. 7.1. Let's quickly check. 7.1. Okay. Okay, was obviously acting as a financial, yeah, so most probably traded other people's money. Let's quickly see what other ones are there. Debarment order, 3.1 million, OM bridge, 150,000. Check out this one, guys, 20 million. Stringfellow Financial Services investment specialist. My god, these oaks must have taken a lot of money from trading as Stringfellow investment specialist. That is why keep your hands in your own pockets when you trade. Stringfellow investments. And still these Ponzi's. Okay, they're obviously chalked now, but Stringfellow. It is ugly out there. Very true. So the licensing, there's various types of licenses that you can do, and obviously if you want to go through the various categories, go through the FASE Act, if you want to get into the financial industry. So firstly, FSCA categories. So there's various categories that you can register for. These are all of the categories. Cat 1, Cat 2 is discretionary FSP. That is where you can manage people's money. Then you've got a Cat 3, that's more administrative financial services provider. And so you would need, if you want to manage people's money, you would first need your Cat 1. That's the one that I've got. And then you would need to get into a Cat 2. Obviously there's you need 3 years minimum experience. You need to have been under supervision. You need to write your RE5 and your RE7 exams. To be a mentor and signal provider, to be a mentor, you don't really need anything. If you've got very good disclaimers, if you are providing signals, you are technically providing financial advice. So you need to be very careful as to how you do it. Again, you can share it as an information share as to what you are doing. But again, you should have your disclaimer as well. Similar, like even though I'm a financial advisor, I can't really give financial advice on these streams because there's a process as to how you give financial advice. You have to have a mandate with the client firstly. Before you give advice, you need to consider the client's financial position, his age, his budget. Then after you've made a provision or you've provided the client with financial advice, then you need a record of advice, which is a document about 5, 6, 7 pages long, considering all of the information given to you by the client, all of your considerations, then your recommendations, and then whether the client accepts to take your advice or not. So if a client does not take your advice, then you need to minute that, because if you are in a court of law, they go back to the record of advice, which is basically almost like a contractual document stating that I told client John, whoever, that he should invest 100,000 Rand in this fund due to the fact that he is only 25 years old. His risk profile was tested as a moderately aggressive investor, and therefore I feel looking at this fund, it all is within his band of criteria in terms of his risk profile. And then only after that can you submit the business, and all of that basically goes into a file. And I think you're held liable for 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, for that advice, because if you go to the ombudsman will basically be the mediator between you and the client, and then ultimately if there's no mediation reached, then that could go to say your district court, and even potentially the magistrates court, and then the Supreme Court as well. For instance, Justin Paulson overturning the decision that was made against JP Markets in the Supreme Court, that case was overturned, and that is why JP Markets will reopen again. But yeah, guys, when it comes to the financial industry, be very, very careful as to what you do. You can get clapped hard. You can very easily get clapped. Alright guys, 11 o'clock, let's just do a quick rundown. DXY still pushing bullish. US30, I will set some alerts at the daily pivot, maybe later this afternoon. If we are still trading below the 200 on the 80, I'll be looking for some shorts on this market, or maybe this is the low of the week to create some type of a pullback. But let's see. The analysis played out perfectly. I didn't take it. I see Laz in the Discord took the shorts from the highs. So Laz, that is almost 4 coffees now. Tomorrow I will let you know when you can bring those coffees. Maybe a croissant as well. And Nasdaq on the daily pivot, I've set some alerts. UJ, again, that half round number holding, not too interested in that. GJ, I am still potentially considering longs. We've tested this half round number, we've taken that out. The hourly candle has closed. That's my only concern. It closed strong bearish, closing below this area right here. So I am not going to jump into this. It is Monday. Gold still messing around Asia lows, nothing there for me. GU, very nice call on the shorts I took. Only had about a 2 pip drawdown. I don't know why I was so afraid to hold this, but 20 pips, I told you guys 20 pips would be good for me. But for the guys that held it, very well done. I think lock it in, call it a day. USD ZAR trading at the weekly pivot, trading above the daily pivot, nothing there for me. Euro USD, very nice move to the downside, and we call the shorts on this. Moving averages pointing lower, trading below the Asia lows, trading below the daily pivot. Very nice trade right there. German 30 also shitting the bed. Remember, I told you guys, just looking at the Hang Seng, you can look at the Nikkei 200, you can look at the Hang Seng. For the most part, we will follow the sentiment that comes through from Asia, and obviously the sentiment was bearish, and for that reason that confirmed my bearish bias on the indices. So with that being said, guys, 1,000 subs. I really appreciate all of you guys for joining, for helping us get to that level. The 1,000 sub giveaway will be happening this week, or not this week. We will start the entries this week, and then most probably next week Friday on stream we'll do the giveaway of the funded account, as well as the winner that will be flying out. So next week Friday most probably we'll book your tickets for that week. Thereafter we'll get you in the office, you'll spend some time with us, and yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. Public holiday, back to normal business as usual tomorrow. I will see you guys on the stream tomorrow. Keegan also back on the decks tomorrow, and new week, new start. Keep it positive, and I will see you guys in the market. See you guys tomorrow. Peace and love. AB, yeah, dude. Honestly, I would want it to be inside the Asia lows. I wouldn't trade it outside of the Asia lows. So this right here, if you're gonna look for longs, if we create some type of resistance, the 80 also starting to fluff around there, I would need to see some type of break of structure above. Then I would consider longs as well, because we've already retested the half round number, so very likely we can go and test the round number here at 182. That's also the weekly pivot. So I like the idea. For me personally, I wouldn't try and buy it. Yeah, just letting you know. But that is me. You don't have to follow what I do. Follow your plan and share your setups in the Discord. See you guys tomorrow. Be sure to join the Discord link in the description. Check us out on Instagram, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Trade safe. See you guys in the Discord.